MCL, the word in your home.
Alright, welcome to Good Morning, abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. Our sincere apologies for the poor audio. And of course, my name is Stella Okichuku, and it's good to have you on today's Good Morning, abia. You know what we do here? We educate, inform, and entertain you with happenings around you, Nigeria and East diaspora. And of course, you know, it's a program that comes away from Monday till Saturday, and today promises to be informative, so we urge you to sit through to your television set. And of course, we usually start with the What's a Marble, just to inspire you as you go out for your daily activities. And on today's What's a Marble, you can't cross the sea mainly by standing and staring at the water. I'll take it again. You can't cross the sea mainly by standing and staring at the sea. It is just trying to say that no matter how difficult it is, you need not to fold your arms and watch time pass by. You need to tell yourself that, look, I can actually achieve something out of this. You need to keep doing something to make out to anything you actually want to make out of. So whatever mountain that is facing you this morning, on behalf of the crew, I'm saying that you need to stand up and tell yourself that I can really achieve this with God by my side. And welcome you once again to the One Stop Breakfast Show on MCLtv. Now to the news that are making round. President Muhammad Buhari has directed the Ministry of Agriculture and the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to bypass the naughty issue of collateral, which he described as a terrible colonial legacy, so that farmers will get easy access to capital. The President gave the directive during an audience with members of the United Kingdom-based Foundation for Governance for Development in Nigeria at the State House, Abuja, on Tuesday. According to the President, a top priority of his administration is to ensure that the efforts of hardworking Nigerian farmers are respected. Buhari also identified smuggling as a threat to domestic agricultural production and processing and promised to continue to fight the menace with all means available to government. The President assured that in addition to the focus of his administration on security, economy and the war against corruption, the new administration in his second term will pay greater attention to education and health. In his remarks, the leader of the group, which is mostly made up of scholars and professionals, Dr. Arebo Ibrahim Bayo, said they came together on the basis of a shared passion for the country's development. He added that the group was in the firm belief that President Buhari represents the best in terms of leadership that Nigeria can offer. He commended the achievements of the administration in the last 4 years in implementing its three cardinal objectives of providing security, improving the economy, and the war against corruption. He, however, suggested the declaration of an emergency to tackle challenges in education and health sectors. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of a federal polytechnic abia at the state on Tuesday passed a second reading at the House of Representatives. The bill, titled "A Bill for an Act to Provide for Establishment of the Federal Polytechnic abia at the state and for related matters," emerged from the Senate. The bill was seeking concurrence in the House for a second reading. Moving the motion on the bill, Reps Idris Wase, APC Plateau, said it was important to pass the bill for such an institution in Aba. Also, the Deputy Chief Whip, Rep Pali Iriasi, said that Aba deserved a federal polytechnic given the industrial ingenuity of the people of the area. It is good to lend our support and see reasons cogent enough to establish a federal polytechnic in Aba. This is one bill, to my mind, that is very well thought out. Aba is noted for industry and the ingenuity that today's science can only help to improve upon, and no institution can do that better than a federal polytechnic. This is one bill that is nice for this House to pass, Iriase said. Similarly, Reps Kiruka Onyejocha, APC Abia, said that the establishment of the polytechnic will assist the factories in the city. And diverse reactions have trailed President Muhammad Buhari's approval of 30,000 naira minimum wage. In this report, MCL News sampled the view of some workers in Aba. The report. Following the assent by President Muhammad Buhari to the National Minimum Wage Bill 2019, passed by the National Assembly, the battle for the new wage increase has now shifted to implementation. Henceforth, workers in both the private and public sectors will not earn below 30,000 naira as minimum wage. Only employers whose workers are below 25 in number were exempted from complying with the law. The Act empowers any employee who is paid below 30,000 naira to take his employer to court. Some who spoke to MCL News commended President Muhammad Buhari for the approval. However, some insist the development will trigger inflation.
Those ones that are owing, to give me another bella to another party from the same story still comes back. The most important thing is that willingness to pay. What is 30,000? After all, what is 30,000 naira minimum wage? It's like peanuts. If you have an average, have a man and wife and 4 children, talk about the fees, talk about the cost of living, talk about the transport, talk about the external variables. 30,000 is a laughable minimum wage. So it's not even a living wage, to be precise.
At any rate, we'll thank the President for expeditiously assenting to this bill, and we think that, as much as it occurs, in the interval of 4 years to review the minimum wage, I don't see anything wrong in reviewing anything earlier than that, to be in tandem and with the realities of these current situations. Otherwise, the average Nigerian worker is living in abject poverty.
Some contend that the capability of states to pay their workers the 30,000 naira minimum wage should never be in doubt. What needs to be addressed urgently is the management of funds by governors.
They have the capacity and the capability to. Across more than 2,000 special advisors doing absolutely nothing, adding no value to the economy. So they have the capacity to pay.
What you have now, 30,000 naira. We are not yet there. There's not yet a rule for the average Nigerian worker. Considering the fact that the green pack, which is the dollar, with which most of our reserves are denominated, is currently at about 360 or so to a dollar. And if you try to benchmark it to the minimum wage that's just been signed by Mr. President, it will just tell you that the average worker is living below the poverty line.
Governors are urged to identify additional sources of revenue to pay salary arrears and the new minimum wage as approved by the President. Stella Okechukwu, MCL News. At least 19 persons were killed on Tuesday in a road accident in Gwaram local government area of Jigawa State. The accident happened at Gwaram Sabua around 11:30 a.m. close to Government Girls Unity College. A witness told newsmen the accident occurred when the front tire of an overloaded bus burst. The bus, after somersaulting, burst into flames. He said the victims were burnt beyond recognition. Jigawa Police spokesperson Aldo Jinjiri confirmed the report. He said 19 persons were killed while 21 sustained severe injuries. The commuters were coming from Zangon community in Katagum local government area heading to Gadam Maiwa community in Ninji local government area, both in Bauchi State. The victims were said to be friends and relatives coming from a wedding ceremony. Those who sustained injuries are currently receiving medical treatment at a hospital in Gwaram. Railway transport system is the most effective means of land transportation, considering its importance in the development of economic powers. It is assumed as the safest and cheapest among all land transport systems, but ironically, railroad accident is becoming a common occurrence in various parts of Nigeria. MCL News takes a look at the precautionary measures to check the ugly trend. The report.
The frequent railroad accidents in various parts of the country has been blamed on lack of political will by government to rehabilitate damaged rail tracks, as well as lack of barriers to secure rights of way to prevent moving trains from crossing tracks with humans and vehicular traffic. Speaking on how to curtail the ugly trend, a guest on MCL Igbo program, Unasalachi Abia, Dr. Egwuchi Onyende, has called on the Federal Ministry of Transportation, including Nigeria Railway Corporation, to live up to their statutory responsibility by ensuring regular maintenance of the rail tracks. He also cautioned on the dangers of obsolete equipment and lack of signals indicating an upcoming train, as it takes a considerable distance to stop a train.
Ọmaala mma ọjọọla njọ ohila aka ndị gọọmenti n'ihi na ndị gọọmenti lonwewo nchọwa taa obodo anyị a taa mma n'ihi na ọtụtụ obodo ndị mepere emepe obodo ndị ọcha ụgbọ oloko kacha mbụ mmachara ma ndị mmadụ laja agbalịsi ike iji aga njem ọtụtụ mmadụ mgbe ụfọdụ amadịghị na ụgbọ oloko ndekwa ebedodo aba ọ bụ ya mere ụdị ihe ndị a bụ njide eme ndị ọrụ ndekwa na-arụ arụ ndị nọ mpaghara be ndị ka ọdọ ada ekwuwa ụgwọ ka ọma ma ndị ka egwerela slad wee rụọ ọrụ ebe mbụla egwerelawo ọ dịghị ụgwọ ada ekwuwo ọ dịkwana nha ada wee rụma ma ụgbọ oloko ma ọ bụ lad enozila ọdụ igbu mmadụ gbuo ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ gbuo ekpolite mmadụ 10 gbuo la aba asuo na amara na ụgbọ ndụ egbadula aba ụfọdụ nga esilawa ama.
Reacting to a train accident that claimed the life of a truck driver recently in Aba, where it was observed that the rail track corridor has narrowed owing to the construction of illegal structures close to the tracks, Dr. Egwuchi advised land speculators and railway workers to abstain from such encroachment.
Gọọmenti ga-ehazi ụgbọ hazi ndị ọrụ ndị ogwerela ọrụ ya amarawo ndị ahụ amarala ogwerela ụlọ ọrụ ada emeziwo gọọmenti ga-ebịa ele ha dị wee rụ tupu ụgbọ ada agba ọ bụ ụgbọ gbara gawa ọ dịghị efufe ụzọ bụ elele okporo ụgbọ mara ma ọ dịkwa mma ma ọ dịkwa ndị ndachiri ya dịka a na-emebula mbụ enwee ndị na-arụ ọrụ okporo ụgbọ wa na ọlụ ọrụ wo eme egwere onye isiwo egwere tọle nyere ya ma ọ bụkwa na motorel ya gbagharịa lechaa okporo ndị a niile mara ma ọ dị mma ebe nwere nsogbu ya suo lekwa ebe na mezie eke tupu ada asọ ụgbọ gbawa.
Although railroads are not used as often as it were, but still remain active, hence motorists, pedestrians, and other users of rail crossing have been advised to be safety conscious near rail tracks and approaching trains. Chinyere Chibu, MCL News.
Mudslides and flooding caused by torrential rain have killed 32 people in Daban and the wider Waziri Natal province. Officials say with the death toll expected to rise. Among those killed was a 6-month-old baby. Dozens of people have been taken to hospital, and search and rescue teams are looking for more survivors under the rubble of collapsed buildings. Local roads have flooded, sewers have been blocked, and electric pylons broke down. The BBC's Nomsa Makusa in Johannesburg says 2 universities and a number of schools are shut after the storms hit on Monday evening. A severe weather warnings remains in place in most parts of South Africa. Meanwhile, more localized flooding is expected in coastal areas. Last week, heavy rains were blamed for the collapse of a church wall in KwaZulu-Natal, which killed at least 13 people. U.S. Secretary General Anthony Guterres has agreed to help raise $50 billion for a project to help revive drugs drinking Lake Chad. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari said on Tuesday the lake, which borders Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, has lost 90% of its surface area due to poor water management and climate change, and the United Nations has warned that millions of people need help to avert famine. The area is also a stronghold for militant groups including Islamic State in West Africa and Nigeria's Boko Haram. President Muhammad Buhari, in a statement, has welcomed the acceptance of the United Nations Secretary General Anthony Guterres to co-chair a special session to raise $50 billion to fund the inter-basin water transfer from Central Africa to revive the Lake Chad. And that's much you can take on today's news segment. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. We'll go for a break. When we come back, it will be time for us to go through the national dailies. To stay with us.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're my hope, my dreams, everything. There is only one place where good taste, quality and top hygiene blend to provide classic snacks and food. Apple fried chicken. Our yummy meals glide from continental to African, all freshly prepared in a modern, healthy environment. Take a look. At Apple Fried Chicken Center, children are top priority, and so we provide exciting play centers for them, giving parents sweet, relaxing moment alone. Our outdoor catering services for all events remains the rave of the moment. Now, have you tried the Apple special cakes and shawarma? Ooh la la! Walk into any of our outlets in Aba, Calabar, Uyo and Umaya and give yourself a treat. Or better still, call our hotlines 080-868-77445 or 070-3963-449 or 090-3046-2362 or send us a mail. Apple Fried Chicken. Experience the taste.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Guy, you know that yellow papa where they were street where we're so?
Wait, which one? That one where they trip for me? Now my babe now.
Free me, job. If you not get money, hide your face. I hide my face.
Come, now me you talk like that. Guy, I be big boy. You see this TV so? You know how much I buy am? 200k, see this one. You are poor like don't show the market rat.
True, now me they call market rat. See all those Gucci and Pate where hush puppy they show for Instagram so. Now me buy am for am.
Guy, you know e-money? E-money na my boy. Money where you dey spray, now me give am.
See this one oh, you know that Linda Cage house for Banana Island? Now me dash her.
That one a house? Maybe you know OBO Davido. That 30 billion where dey your account, now me borrow am.
Forget it. You see that snake where swallow jam money? Now me send am. Now CBN they go next.
Tuale baba. Ah hello, Tuale. Where is it?
True. Bros, you just had a lie. Eat them my back.
Hey, what did you do?
Oh yes. You can now purchase MCL decoder and also pay for your subscription at our corporate office located at number 9B Obibo Street opposite Keystone Bank or MCL outlets located at number 203 Fox Road opposite Heritage Bank by Samek Junction, Aba. Or our accredited sales agents, Abarusia Holdings, Zone 18, Shop C, LQA4, Shopping Center, Aba. Best Choice Electronics, Zone 16, ET65 Up, behind Eco Bank, Enhi Road Branch, Aba Shopping Center. Symphone Investment Nigeria Limited, Zone 12, AS28, Shopping Center, Aba. Ever Blessed Yahweh Electronics, 156 Ekote Mene Road, Aba. Matiko Communication, number 93 Hospital Road, opposite Amausa, Aba. Wachuku Investment, 43 St. Michael's Road, Aba. Nukocha Electronics, number 300 Port Harcourt Road, inside Orie Ohabiam Electronics Market. Obuka JJ Communication, line 26, B47 Ngwa Road Market. Okorocha Shopping Plaza, number 4 Ibere Street. OK Tech, number 3 Wala Street, opposite BTC, Aba. Orbit Communications, number 2 Pand Road, Aba. For payment of subscription only, you can visit our accredited agents, Best Choice Electronics, Zone 16, ET65 Up, behind Eco Bank, Enhi Road Branch, Aba Shopping Center. Ever Blessed Yahweh Electronics, number 156 Ekote Mene Road, Aba. Matiko Communication, number 93 Hospital Road, opposite Amausa, Aba. Nukocha Electronics, number 300 Port Harcourt Road, inside Orie Ohabiam Electronics Market. Chris Bank Communication, 232 Orata Road by Express, Aba. Branch office, number 560 Port Harcourt Road by Flyover, Aba. For inquiries, call our customer care on 070-3298-0089. MCLtv, the world in your home.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
One touch, one go. 5 elements, one blow. Mother of mother. Okay, Butu. One man, one bottle. One woman, one bottle. For headache, uncle. For malaria, uncle. For jadi, uncle. For gonorrhea, uncle. For Baba HIV, uncle. No pregnancy, no HIV/AIDS. Piss them all out. Oyibo doctor don't lie, oh. Salivation don't come, oh.
Be sure of what you are saying. We have had people come in here in the past to make false allegations on their business rivals and so on.
I assure you, sir, I am no juju doctor.
Do you have any proof to support what you have told me?
You can send this to your lab for testing.
What's that?
Okerebututu.
This is not registered. Who did you say sold this again?
He calls himself the juju doctor. He claims that the content in that bottle can cure anything, even HIV/AIDS.
Dear God! How did you get to know of such a person?
I was once a customer of his.
Here it is. One touch, one go. 5 elements, one blow. Okerebututu. One man, one bottle. One woman, one bottle. For headache, for malaria, for jadi, Gonorrhea, HIV,
Baba, we don't know.
What did they do?
Going to buy Okorebo dude as soon as you let go of me.
For Tina? Tina na correct girl. But no be tell me say you never sample am because say she no want sex before marriage.
Na so she talk. But I know say I real fear na pregnancy and disease.
Baba, thank you.
Joe, I can't come we have a woman come Joey.
Buy 2, I give you half. Free!
I will take 6.
Crotable! At your age, 6 women for a start. Even when you are 70 or 80, you can still handle 2 women at a time. I wish to see you at the Buffalo Festival. Whether you are Yemio or you are Yefa, you are choppable at the festival. A man needs Okorebo to survive.
Tina, please now.
No. We've talked about this before. Why are you asking again?
Tina, I bought something for us. You don't have to worry about anything. Pregnancy, disease, nothing.
What be this?
Okorebo tutu. Tina, I love you. Just this one time.
For inside here? No, my madam go soon come.
Okay, where?
No, where? I say no. I won't marry first. I don't see many gays who use their hand they spread in future for nothing. Talk say we go wait now. You don't even see my papa.
Tina. Arufem ememe. Polaru yodi de ke fefe mi niye. Tina. Be indicator me mio. Bon mon mio. Who be that?
Na me, Tina. Ferry, open door now.
Go home. I go come.
I dare you already. Open door.
Go house. I go come later.
Ferry, now be that. Ferry, now who my voice I dey hear so. Ferry, open door.
I will explain. Wait. Tina. A few years ago, I was terribly ill. I went to the hospital. After running some tests and a counseling session, I was diagnosed HIV positive.
I see.
Then you understand, sir, that this juju doctor must be stopped.
You are my last hope.
My father's second wife wants to destroy me.
because she says I'm more successful than her children. I am a messenger with Paul and Paul Fisheries. Help me, Juju Doctor.
Okere butubutu. Okere butubutu. Okere butubutu. Okere butubutu. Okere butubutu. You are protected. Rise and walk tall. No one can catch you. You will buy 2 of this. And you will take your bath twice a day with this black soap.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
What can I do for you, woman?
Great, Baba. We live in a face me and face you house. One yellow woman has been after my husband. I want to punish her. The insult is too much. They don't even hide it from me anymore. I want her to catch a disease. Big disease. AIDS.
AIDS? Sprinkle some of this by her doorway. She crosses over it. She's got AIDS. I give and take. 1 man, 1 bottle. Bam! Go and shame your enemies.
Thank you, Baba.
For showing gratitude.
One-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Alright, thanks for staying with us. Our sincere apologies that the newspaper review would not be actually coming your way right now, or probably after the discussion. We will now take a look at the papers. And of course, today it is we're looking at child abuse. And of course, before we do that, rape of minor has been an increase No day goes by without the news of a next-door neighbor child being abused, either by a relative or a family friend. And the UN has it that 40 minors is being abused every hour. This occurring attitude cause for concern. Just last week, Saturday, a group fighting the cause of protecting the minor had a work in Abia and is privileged this morning to have Onyinyechi Mosu to discuss with us on issues that have to do with child abuse. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us on today's program.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Your organization a few days back, had a rally on the increase of child abuse. Could you tell us from the reports gotten so far how much is this your current disturbing process is so far?
It is very disturbing developments. It is something everyone should be worried about. Unfortunately, many people still live in ignorance. Many people still live in denial. Denial is our main problem, and that's what led to last Saturday's rally.
Okay.
Because we've realized we are too much into religiosity here, and what we see is a situation where people try to push back to the Almighty Father the task which He has given us the ability to handle. So we keep hearing, it's not our portion, it's not my portion, and it's happening every day. When you were reading your lesson, you said happening to their neighbor's child. The truth is, it could be happening to your child. It's happening to every child. Every second of every moment, a child is being molested, and it's becoming worrisome. So we needed to just create awareness. By the way, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It is also Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Month. So that was what gave rise to last Saturday's event, because we needed to create awareness. We need to let people know about it. We need to let people understand that this thing exists and something can be done to prevent it.
Okay, now still talking about the rally you had last Saturday, like how was the turnout, and what was the reaction of some people that you met on the way and all that?
Yeah, the turnout wasn't quite impressive, because we had expected that we had more than the number of people we had, knowing fully well what we are out to fight. But we still had the usual number, the same people, the same group that fight it came out, and it was a very successful rally. But I was disturbed. I was disturbed because I had buzz from some of the people. Even when we got to the main park, I heard comments that got me worried. I heard comments. There's a particular lady I stopped, by the way, because we had flyers, distributing flyer information flyers. And one man, the question was, what is child sexual abuse? She has never heard it. I'm like, do you have a child? I said she has children. I said, you have never heard sexual abuse? She said, no, how does that concern children? So you can see that level of ignorance. Then we got to the park, we heard men telling us, look, you're just wasting your time. That thing will always be there. It is not. A man asked me, so what do you want?
Attribute this to?
Yeah, we have a lot of issues. First is, like I said, ignorance. Ignorance is a very big problem. And many of them do not even know. Ignorance is not an excuse. Like the men who try to talk to me, well, they are like, oh, so we are men, what do you want us to do? And the fact is, if you're a man and you have any sexual encounter with a child who is below 18, it's an offense, and you are supposed to go in for it. Okay. So they don't even know that they're supposed to go in for it, and people are just lustful. Many people have become animals, really. In my own terms, I've seen that some people have gone below the level of animals. So they are not human beings and they are not animals. I don't know where to place them. Otherwise, what is it that lures a human being to a 6-month-old baby?
Okay, we'll come to that. Just like the question you pointed out right now, what could lure an 8-month to a 6-month baby? When did you think we started losing it? Why do we keep having increasing rates of sexual abuse these days? What could be responsible for this?
Okay, let me just...
Because a lot of people have actually attributed it to pornography and of course the internet and all that.
There are a lot of factors, but let's say something. It has always been there. What we should be talking about now is the increase.
That's what I'm saying.
You understand? Because someone we talk to say this thing is a new thing. No. Like I say, many of us who fight this are survivors. If it existed at my time, it means it has always been there. But the increase, the pornography it's a factor. It is a factor. Then we have people being exposed to the internet. Then we have people who think, funny enough, I don't understand what it means to being diabolic, making money through certain things, apart from hard work. So we have people who deceive themselves, thinking that if you do something with a child, then you become rich. Then, most importantly, we are standing at a time in the world where everything that we have hidden is coming out. And everything that has been inside of us is coming to the fore. And unfortunately for mankind, most of us have always had that evil, more than good, more evil within us. So it's coming to the fore. I'm talking that it is part of the signs of the times. But that doesn't mean we have to stop the fight, because we still have to prevent children as the few we can, because it's actually the few we can save that we're trying to save. Because it is the spiritual fall of man. That is the core thing. Man has moved from the level, and I remember I told you, some have moved from level of human beings, they've gone beyond animals spiritually, and they can't be animals. So it is the time that we stand in that has actually brought out the whole thing. Today you hear about women, you hear about a 70-year-old woman molesting a boy of 2 years. I mean, where is that heard of? Things have just gone out of the... Then we have, people have, it's part of it, have lost self-control. People have lost self-control. So they just want to lust, and you can't control that feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also, the truth is, we have a few people who suffer from a psychological disorder called pedophilia. These are the ones we call pedophiles. These people have something, they don't have any sexual feelings for adults. Once they see children, their body gets kicking. That's part of the problem.
Okay, hold on. Looking at some of the things, you made mention of that you don't actually believe in diabolic means of when you sleep with a little child, you get rich.
But that's their reason.
Okay, has there been any case that you actually handled that the suspect will actually come up to confess and say, I actually did this as a result
because
of
I
this?
belong to a group that was demanded to do this? Yes.
Okay.
And it was part of sustaining either the membership of that thing.
As you're saying it, also tell us some of the cases you've handled so far and what the suspects actually say that is the reason behind, the abuse of a child.
You know the irony of mankind is each time we do something, we blame who? The devil. So all you hear is just the devil. Both the person who confessed that he belonged to a group and he was part of the demand, we say is the devil.
Was there further investigation to actually know if he's trying to link into spiritual stuff? Has there been, you understand what I mean? Further investigation to actually know some of the suspects who confesses to doing this because of this, if it is actually the truth?
Well, we won't go to the point of knowing where he belongs. Okay. The person says where he belongs and says, okay, that's not our this thing. We don't go to the person because you are the perpetrator, you are the person who is guilty, not the group you belong.
Okay.
Because you are actually a human being. You have a free will. You have a free will, and you should be able to say, even if someone asks you to perpetrate evil, you should say no to it.
Okay.
So the perpetrator is the person we look at. Yes, the truth is, most times, the people who perpetrate these acts need help. They need help. They need psychological help. But we have very few people fighting this thing. And people are unwilling to come out even when you want to assist. Because the truth is, we should take care of the victim and, where possible, take care of the perpetrator psychologically. That's the right thing.
Okay, are you saying that those perpetrators that you've handled so far, that you've been able to rehabilitate them, or do you actually take them to security operatives?
Oh, sure, security operatives, yes. Rehabilitation, that is, you should know the...
How do you go about the process?
Now, let me just take the last example of the last case we handled in Aba, or that's still ongoing. I got a call about a 3-year-old in a school in Obo Hill, where the class teacher molested a child. 3-year-old, nursery 1. The child got home and the mother discovered what happened, and she asked and the child disclosed. And she went to the school, and the school said they were going to get back to her. And it took days, nothing happened. And in her only 2 ways, she went to a private hospital. Because this one of our problem is people not knowing the right thing to do. She went to the private hospital, and the doctor just gave a little treatment, and that was it. So by the time we got the information, I and my team went to the school to see the head of the school. We asked a few questions, like, what have you done? And she said nothing, because it's the owner of the school that takes decision on this kind of thing. So what has the old school owner done? Nothing. So I was like, okay, this has 2 weeks have gone, 2 weeks have passed. The child has been at home, and you don't care. No medical attention as far as I'm concerned. So I informed them that they were going to take up the case. So it was because I left my number they started calling, and the call I gave were like, oh, can we meet you? Let's negotiate. And that's the one that gets me really crazy. They wanted to negotiate. They wanted to offer some amount of money.
The school or the perpetrator?
No, the school.
Okay.
Because the school, what they do is that they will have to hide it.
Shield it.
They have to shield it because they're trying to make sure that the name of their school doesn't come to it. And in this case, the school belonged to a pastor, and the young man who perpetrated the act is an assistant pastor.
Okay, we'll continue that, okay? And you're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program will continue. Please stay with us.
One-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Alright, thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. I know a lot of people want to be part of today's program. Once the line open, you'll start calling us to make your input on today's discussion. Still discussing child abuse with Onyechi Mwosu. Alright, Ma, you were talking about a school that you're handling the case now, that they started calling you for negotiation. Yeah. And of course, you talked about, getting irritated when people commit such crime and try to negotiate with you. Go ahead.
It's quite irritating. I mean, a crime is committed against a child, a minor, and you are concerned about the name of your school, about the name of your church, because most times these things happen, we get the reports from churches or from schools. You are concerned about such things, not about the fate of the child, not about the health of the child, not about the future of this child. So what did we do? We went ahead and, of course, I got irritated. I had to deal with the needful. I wrote to the area commander, and an order was given to get the young man arrested. We picked up the man, and in fact, by the time we went for the arrest, we had to go to the police. We met this resistance, and they're like, okay, you didn't give us, they're supposed to inform us, you give an invitation letter. This is a capital offense. In case people don't know, you really do not need to invite him. And halfway, trust us and the police. We have our own issues. One of them they almost got her. So I went with 2 ladies and a man. But the other lady was firm, so we picked up the young man and got there. But you won't believe what happened after that. And this is one of our problems. They went behind, got the parents of the child, they got compromised. And they walked into the police station and told, right there before me, that they don't want any case.
Okay, do you, would you actually attribute this to the ignorance of the parents, not knowing the resultant effects of such acts to the child?
Ignorance is a very big problem. But the bigger problem is that we have, there's this level of ignorance. Someone doesn't know and does not want to know. You make so much effort to get it, but the other person doesn't know and maybe is willing to now we have this issue. Because of this ignorance, we always act. There's no proactive measure, which to me should be the major thing. If parents are proactive, if schools are proactive, if the whole society is proactive, the number of children who will be molested will be reduced. But that ignorance plays a very huge role, and people are not interested. So we now have parents who actually, yes, they're ignorant, but people will still tell me it's poverty. Most times it's not poverty, because they'll tell you we've settled, someone, money has passed hand, 10,000, 20,000, now you have your issues. This is a pastor. The pastor knows that what was wrong was wrong. The pastor has gone further to another crime, bribery. I mean, you are duplicit. The whole society is involved in this. And all of us have to fight it together. So what did they do? They went ahead to say that they don't want the case, and I smiled. Of course, you can't push her. Yeah. So I allowed them to, they have to pin it down there that we're doing the case. And that to them is their level. But the case is now going further because they are now part of the crime. So the case is moving beyond where they think we stopped to another level. Because if we just leave it at the level of parents, it means the child will be destroyed. What happens if you were the father that, or the mother that molested the child? It means if you don't get the consent of the parents, you won't act. No, the law provides beyond that. Okay. So what happens is that we are moving from the area command to a higher level where we can now, it is, by the way, it is a crime against the state. It wasn't meant to stop there. It is a crime against the state. So now that the parents have chosen, and I informed them, I told them what their actions will lead them to, because they are going to be part of the suit and they have to face it. So ignorance is no excuse. And we are out there, like I said, why we went out on the street on Saturday was to sensitize people, to tell them what the implications, to tell them what these things happen, to tell them what happens to the child at the long run. Like I've always said, the victim of sexual molestation is not just the child. All of us are victims. Because a victim grows up bitter, guilty, everything, and this child carries it out, shows it out, dishes out on the society, his or her immediate environment, and all of us suffer it. If we must make this world a better place, all of us have to begin to quench this thing, what I call it mankind's common enemy. That is what sexual molestation is. Okay. Mankind's common enemy.
Okay, what are the traits one should actually look at for a pedophile? And of course, you've talked so much about ignorance from parents and all that. How do you begin to know as a parent that your child is being molested? What are the traces?
I wish, I would rather you ask me first. What could be done to prevent a child? I will get to the traces. Because the truth is, when a child is molested, the child is molested. I so much love preventive measures in this. Maybe because I've been there. Maybe because I know the implications on the victim. So if it could be prevented, if people can begin to get more proactive.
We'll get to the preventive measures.
Okay. Now, on your child, if every parent is a parent, last Sunday I spoke at
How do you mean by
if every parent is a parent? Because what we have is, you ask people, mothers will tell you their mothers just by mere fact of being pregnant and going to the labor room. That's not enough. Okay. Every woman on the street can do it. Every man on the street is physically fit, biologically well, can get a woman pregnant. Parenting goes beyond that. Now, if parents are really parents, by catering for their children, providing for the psychological and emotional well-being of their children, not just giving them food and buying clothes and sending them to school, then every parent should be able to know each child. That's what I mean by being a parent. Okay. Being a parent, it means that if you have 3 children, you know the children individually.
Okay.
It's only that way you'll be able to know when something is happening to the child. If you don't know your child, you wouldn't know. Because most times it's through their behavioral changes. If, for instance, you have a very lively child, and all of a sudden the child becomes withdrawn, something has gone wrong. Okay. And I know the thing about this is, it could be other things happening to the child, not sexual abuse. You understand? Because most of the symptoms, most of the signs, they are similar to the other trauma that children go through as well. So it's because, as I say, a parent is a parent. It means you have a relationship with your child. You should know how to communicate with this child. You should know how to ask questions and let the child disclose. But what we have the highs and mighties. We have parents who, when they are coming home, the children hear their voices, the children hide under the chairs. if you know your child, then you should know something has gone wrong.
When
you
there
should
are
know,
changes.
yes. All of a sudden, say a 5-year-old child who has stopped bedwetting long ago begins to bedwet. Something has gone wrong psychologically.
Okay.
And that's not time to hit the child. That's not what we do. That's not time to hit the child and like, okay, you've done this, look at what you've done to my house. It's time to actually ask yourself a few questions, then bring the child, sit down with this child, show some love, ask questions. Tell the child that you believe him or her. Let the child know that you can trust him or her. Because when the child is afraid of you, you have a problem. Children should be able to trust their parents. And it's the parent who make the child to trust him or her. So when you see these signs, the child begins to behave. Okay, if it's a bigger child, because now we're focusing on if it's a bigger child, and you just see the child becomes a bit rude to a friend. Because most times, they are your friends that perpetrate these acts. They are your relatives. Then you have this daddy's friends who comes to the house, and the child is always friendly, always nice, and suddenly the man comes, please, can you give me a glass of water? I'm not going.
Okay.
The tendency is for the mother or the father to slap the child, right? Or to begin to quarrel. Possibly, this uncle or auntie has done something that he or she wasn't supposed to have done to this child, who up till then has respected this person. And the only way the child could is be made a bit rebellious, because there's no relationship with the parents. I keep mind you, I've been emphasizing on this. When there is a good relationship, the child on his or her own will always come to you to tell you, Mom, Dad, look at what happened today. Can you imagine what Uncle this person said? Can you imagine what this aunt did to me? But we bring up children, they're afraid of us. And now we have a bigger problem. It wasn't supposed to be a problem. Religion. Yeah, the Bible says, children, obey your parents, obey the elders, obey your parents so your days will be long. Now, this is a daddy in the Lord. Let me use the usual word.
Yeah.
And you have to obey this person. And we've been brought up to respect this person. And this daddy in the Lord moves to a child of 12 or 11 and begins to fondle with her major organs. And this child knows that she is supposed to respect this man. The child battles with guilt, with confusion. What do I do? But this man is supposed to be right all the time. And he goes ahead to tell the child, don't tell your parents. I'll protect you. Now, you have a person who is growing up, confused states. This is what you see in many adults. You just say, look at this person. She doesn't know what he's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. Because over time, he or she has lived in this life of denial, confusion, and everything. So it goes on like that even if your relative is perpetrating the act, the child is afraid of telling you because you don't have a relationship with the child. The child is, if it's an adult that the child has grown to like and respect, which is what happens, the child doesn't want the adult to get into trouble. So the child still feels he or she should protect the adult. If she tells you that the man will be in trouble, the woman will be in trouble. So you now get someone who is psychologically destabilized, and this person gradually grows into adulthood. We are seeing the signs. Trust me, this is the beginning of what is happening in the world today. The crime that we are facing today is the beginning. If we don't go to tap it from the roots.
All right, thank you so much, Onye Mosu. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. The line is right now open for you to call us and make a contribution on today's topic, child abuse. If there are any confusing questions that you actually have to throw to our guest this morning, do that. She is here to attend to all your questions. And of course, if you must be part of today's program, you must reduce the volume of your television for easy communication. Call us your name, your location, and go ahead with your contribution on today's program. Now, Onyi, you've been championing this cause for a while now. What actually motivated you to go into such cause?
I've said it here, but I am a survivor. I don't call myself a victim. I am a survivor. A survivor is someone who has gone through something. I've lived the pains.
Can we choose on the line before you continue?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Go ahead, ma.
You've outgrown the pain. And the duty is for you to make sure that as many people are going through what you've got passed through there, will be saved. I grew up in a home where I was raised by my grandma, a very generous, kind woman, disciplinarian to the core, very religious in the family, and that meant our home was home for all. And that's why I'm always talking to people who are very nice. There's nothing wrong in being nice, but please, as you are doing it, take your time to monitor what goes on in your home.
Let's see who's on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell us the name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Wosu, calling from Nigeria.
Mr. Wosu, good to have you on the program this morning. Your contribution.
Yeah, I'm listening to what you are saying, and I feel very, very happy about some attention could be given to what is happening. Because we hear about what people are coming from this hospital, giving us to tackle this issue that is actually trying to activity of the state. I'm trying to examine the same of giving us such issue and God is taking attention or process working ago. I have been to say about the school of the it's not a good thing to see that the school you should have focused there. Because you understand, you can never hide a criminal. Just if you do serious crime. That pastor or this pastor should put himself on that family shoes. This is the today has said that pastor was related to how we live here. I'm not going to say that we have to the devil. Because of the Christian on the last day, they use the name of September that we never use it. What am I doing on the justice I was talking about? A lot of things go on to try to do that parents have neglected and left their people. The primary source has been neglected. Children today don't really obey their parents. They go to separate. Because of the go out and make money. Of course, our body is produced with what they call narrative or portrait. Every time you see this narrative, you see that the started not making money. You don't go to school, you don't do anything. Whether it comes or can come. You can see somebody you go and take it to go and take my head. This is for 1,000 naira. So you enter the crime. You don't take it serious. Unless government puts that eye on the issue of private schools, government department or private schools or private schools, we use public schools. Public schools cannot be done with such shameful acts. Private schools have a related to the public schools. Government will work up on the slumber. And you stand firm and go to the private schools that we never send everywhere. Not so very here. So many partners go to private schools. So what was this topic? Everywhere you go to see one church, let's say it's one in the private school. They put that signboard. And that's the issue of salvation. Go to the church for Christ. So I thank our Savior for tackling this issue. Please don't stop in the middle. Let's see what and also to take out the this issue. God is supposed to.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Onyi, I want you to respond to, he talked about, the assistant pastor that actually abused the 3-year-old, the case you're handling right now, what should be done to, such person, and of course, that such schools shouldn't be mentioned, but actually it is not, advisable for you to do that. He also talked about that these things can't happen in public school. I tend to disagree with him a little bit, but you will also attend to that. He talked about the laziness of parents and also need for you to go to some of these schools and pay attention to what is actually happening. I want you to respond.
Yeah, let me begin by saying
we have several
that,
calls. I don't know if I'm.
Let me begin by saying that we visit schools. Most schools in our bar, I don't just go to pay attention. I talk to the children, and every school, every child that I've spoken to. When you meet the child, you know. Every school that I've visited, when you talk to the child, you know. When something happens to the child, you will see the child there. I don't just speak to them. I leave my phone numbers with them. So they go home and use their parents' phones to call. And I always get those calls. Then, because of time, I have to be frank. Then, you are actually wrong to say that they don't happen in public schools. That's as good as saying that this thing cannot happen in my home or in other homes. We handle these cases, and they can happen anywhere, and they happen everywhere. And just like anyone can be a perpetrator. The private school, funny enough, is not one of these mushroom. There's some you see. It's one of these bigger schools, but I won't call the name on air here for some reasons, for some legal reasons. The truth is, we are on it. But the school knows that they're in trouble because the right thing for the school was...
We need to go to Shotonya, sorry for that,
Okay.
to attend to calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is
All right, Chinyere, good to have you on the program this morning, but you need to speak up so that we can hear you clearly, please, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
We're not hearing you. We're finding it difficult to hear you. Hello?
This side against this thing has come so far that it is now out of hand for parents to handle.
It is not out of hand for parents to handle.
Yes. Do you know that some parents actually promote this child abuse?
How do you mean? Oh, hold on. Chinyere, how do you mean by some parents promote child abuse?
That's what I want to explain now. That's what I want to explain now.
Okay.
That's what I want to explain.
Go ahead.
It's not just opening the leg for a man to get pregnant, you go to the labor room, you give birth, you come back home, everybody rejoices, it's just even that. No, there is this woman living in our house. The daughter, the first daughter is 18 years old. The man that visits her is 52.
He's 52.
When this man comes, the woman leaves the house. She leaves the house, leaves 2 of them in the house. He tells them whatever they want. He comes out. The man gives her money. Immediately she senses that that man is coming. She carries her other children out from the house. 2 of them go inside. What they do, I don't know. What they discuss, I don't know. Is this woman not supposed to be the one to caution this her daughter? 18-year-old child. Is she not supposed to be the one to caution her daughter? Because of this, the man ran away. Her husband ran away from the house. Tell her, do whatever you want with the children. Because when the man talks, if you look at him, he talks the Lord, you get the Lord. You don't want this. You don't want to get to the meeting. You don't do this. You don't do this. See? It's not none less fun. Do whatever you want with it. Now, her first son got a job. His first son is 20 years. He got somebody pregnant. And the woman did not say anything. The husband did not even talk. What the husband told her was, this is what you want. You are getting it. And the son doesn't even talk to people in the house. He wants to come back to the house tomorrow with him. He doesn't even care about the children anymore. You know, this is sometimes parents causes. And sometimes when it's not safe, not because the people are poor or something, sometimes
All right, you've made a point. We want you to react to what you said, ma. Thank you so much for this information. Thank you so much. We'll sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because of our time, okay? Because of our time, we apologize. You heard what she said. 18-year-old girl, 52-year-old man, and the woman leaves the house for them. And now the son has gotten someone pregnant.
I have experienced that before. We had a place where I stayed in Port Harcourt some time ago. I had a neighbor who, when men come calling for any of her 2 daughters, she leaves the house. She will leave the house for them. And we had issues back then. I had issues with the woman because those ones were not under 18. They were not children, but it's African. It's uncalled for your parents to do it. So I had to interfere. They know me for interfering in some family matters. But now back to this. I want to begin with them. I believe you are waiting. Are we there? I wish that family
is actually watching
this program. Let me begin by saying that the man is a total failure. That's the first thing. How could he leave the house? How can something be going wrong? In parenting in the home, the woman is the nurturer, the man lives in discipline. That's where we begin to battle with roles, women and men. I've always said it. The woman is the neck, the man is the head. Everyone has his or her responsibility. Let's stop struggling to leave our own for another person or to take another person's role. The man has failed. The woman is not even worthy to be called a woman, let alone a mother. But like I said, she has gone through the labor room, right? And we call her a mother. And I remember I told you that every man, woman on the streets could give birth. And that's not what I refer to as a mother. A mother is someone who should guide a child through the path of positive development. Now, this woman honestly should be arrested, should be handled. Maybe I wish we took her number. This case should be another case entirely. This child is under, she said the child is how old?
Oh, 18-year-old.
18, okay, she's 18. So, we can see what's going on
with
here.
With a 52-year-old man.
That one is money-making venture. But I wanted to take one thing she mentioned first as parents encouraging sexual abuse.
Yes.
Let me just get back to what happens in the home aside this one. Most times, it is the films we see with our children. It is the books we expose to them. You walk into a house and you see a mother seated with a child who is 3 years, seeing a film that is rated 18 above. That is the first stage of sexual abuse.
Okay, hold on, Onyi. That brings us to the next question here. You talked about parents watching some movies with their children. Yeah. A lot of people have also said that some parents doing some certain things in front of their children, like kissing and all that. And of course, some also said, living in one-room apartment with your children and all that can also contribute to that. A woman, it's happened recently when a man was told that he said something of why he was actually, pressing the breast of the child was because he wanted it to be of the same side with the age. But before you come to that, we'll have to go for a break. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program will continue, please. Please stay with us.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
For staying with us, you're still on to Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. I'm still discussing child abuse with Onyechi Mosu. All right, you wanted to react to a question that I threw at you. I'm talking about some parents watching a movie that is being rated 18 years above, and of course, some parents also are betting to it, doing some sort of stuff they do in front of their children. And of course, I spoke to you about a man that was actually caressing the breast of the daughter. When asked, he said he actually want to, actually make the size to be of the same age with her mates. Before you said that, let's see who's on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, we lost that. Go ahead, Matt, to react to
You
that.
just, what's the father's business in looking at the shape and size of the breast of his daughter and getting the breast to be the size of her assumed mate? The man would just simply molest her, trying to play out his game. And if he could go beyond pressing on the breast, he would have done that if he didn't do it. We have cases of, incest when I was growing up. I thought incest was just...
Can we see who's on the line? Sorry, ma'am. Hello, good morning. All right, we lost that. Go ahead.
So I thought incest was just one word in the dictionary or was for the white man. But right now, presently, there's just no week. Okay, let me not exaggerate. No month will pass without having on my desk a father-daughter sexual abuse.
Biological father.
Biological father. So he was telling you he was pressing the breast, and it is error, it is fault. How should you be looking at your daughter's breast to know that it's not the size? Is it? Igbos have a saying. Igbos have this saying that my daughter has grown. It's not good in the mouth of the. Translating it literally, it's not good in the mouth of the father. My daughter has grown physically. It's not. It doesn't balance well. It doesn't come out well in the father's.
Can we see who's on the line? Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Mr. Martin.
All right. Your contribution, sir.
Yeah, I'm coming from. I'm coming from our Baptist family.
Okay.
Well, by what she said about parents supporting or inducing their children to or encouraging them for some time. I think there are some truth on that area.
Okay.
Because the parents today they are not mindful of what their children don't approve. For them, finding conclusion to give them. Usually, they enter into social media where they are celebrities enter. They go to places where everyone tries to change. also challenge that the mother goes out in the morning, the father goes out in the morning, they come back at the night, what they do is to just sleep and sleep. They have nothing at all to talk about the home. So parents even have more children they can even bear, rare. That after you see some child, even their house to sleep with their neighbors in the houses. So that, because of that, accommodation problem. But the thing is that they have neglected the word of God. They are not exposed to Christianity. Bible says, when they study this, he should do. When she grows up, she gets back for me. Parents have scrambled because of their ability to pay for the money. Look for what to do today and tomorrow. But if you look at this, and bring the child well, there's a very good thing. You see, they pray together, do things together. All that pray together, stay together. And they must pray with their children. Present the word of God. And you bless the children every day. Put them in the hands of God. That's no evil that can ever touch them. The Bible says that they are children of apple. That is not first of all God. When you give their children in the hands of God, they are secure. This is assured. When the boys have parents go out, and their children go out, and you come out, they don't ask what happened to each other. It's embarrassing. Secondly, for women, like their children to the stars. The way to be people that dance with the work of this or other, dancing stuff now. You see a kind of two. Being exposed to such things. We have pants on the television to dance. Like they say, we have transit. You see them dancing stupidly, exposing them to nothing. These are not Christians today. They are not Christians to life.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to react.
Let me quickly finish what we're talking about, the one-room apartment or exposure to certain things. Part of our problem, the one-room apartment thing is a problem. Although we also have people who actually do not live in a one-room apartment, but the parents go ahead to expose children to a lot of things. You mentioned father, mother playing some kind of thing before the children. I think
some father also goes beyond, kissing their daughter in a way that it shouldn't be.
This is where I fight people. This is where they say I assume things, because I don't like, there's some kind of body contact I don't like to see between
the
father
and the daughter.
There's just some, and I always intervene because, and people will tell you, if I just told you, someone asked me, is she your, no, he was a boy, is he your child? I say, he is a child, and that's what matters to me. I don't have to wait till the child becomes mine. And this is the mindset I want the society to have.
Okay.
When you see something wrong, please step in. Say something. Now, when you expose a child...
Can we hear from someone who is actually calling us? Hello, good morning, Mr. Konaya. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Konaya. Pleased to have you on the program today.
Yeah, my name is Akonia. I'm calling from Abia, Akonia.
Good to have you, sir. Your contribution, sir.
Okay. My contribution is simple. The thing is, I want to start from lack of family values.
Lack of family?
The family values have totally collapsed.
Okay.
It's very good with even one room or two. Most of us are parents, are grandparents, separated from one room. Many people in that now want the family values in this country. That's number one. I want to say, even though it's better, when you are better, when you are growing up, no one has generally moved at it. I don't think they think. And this is the very big program. I mean, it's and also, there are some issues we need to work on. Issue of what balancing life is saying. That's the biggest problem. In India, I say, what is saying? Instead of recruiting a child, but in Nigeria, here, I need to they start saying no, the problem. And by saying no, you become audacious. But we are not around the side military. The people come in the man's house. Some of us are more busy to learn how to part of the problem. I don't even think one of them has taken over the need. They will be able to do the closer. Maybe how many families are also in the United States? You know the brothers are in several countries. How many families are know that women after this what to do, or a guy can do what to do, or a man can do what to do. We have no father. Let's show conversation.
Thank you.
Looking at the family, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akonai. Thank you so much for that.
It still boils down to that relationship.
Yeah.
And the issue is, now, the other man called and talked about being godly, preaching. That's wonderful. But the fact is, people have to understand the time we're standing. We have to understand that things have changed. And they have to educate their children. Sexuality education is something, this is what we are shying away from. When you fail to tell your child certain things, the child is being told this thing by an outsider. And this is just an outsider, someone who is not you, but who knows you, who knows your weaknesses and taps into it. Your friend, your relative, or who knows that you are not touching these areas, and the person goes in and tells the child this and tells the child negatively.
See, based on what Mr. Kunaya said, of when he was growing up, a woman who usually tell him to come and massage his back and all that. What happens to a minor that can't express, his or herself? Because Akunaya said each time the woman says that, he will go to the mother and say, what is this woman talking about? What happens to such?
Okay. He was telling his mother because there was a relationship between him and his mother. One. Now, for a child who is still not talking, this is where we say, if a parent knows the child, and this goes down more to mothers, because at that age, children are more related more to the mothers and the fathers. A mother should know the child to know when something is going wrong. A child is, because we're talking about a child who the mother still bathes. Alright? And most of the time, you're watching the child, you notice something, and you ask questions, the child can answer. But when you don't have a relationship, and you don't put your eyes down, just 2 weeks ago here in Aba, there was a case of a 6-month-old baby, the neighbor will come and take the baby from the woman, and she's busy, and she's happy that the neighbor takes the baby. And as that is going on, the young man will be busy doing what he wants to do with the baby. And she never got to know about it. She never got to know about it, or the baby fell ill. The baby fell ill, and there was the doctor who discovered that something was wrong. So mothers need to go back to motherhood. Parents have to go back to parenting and take this thing serious. Like I've always said, I think parenting is not for everybody. If you're not ready to sacrifice more of your time, more of whatever you have, if you're not ready to look into it and pay attention to your children, understand each child. Know when you see some changes in the child. If you're still a young person, you are not yet a parent and you're ready to make it, you don't need to get into it. Seriously.
Thank you so much, Onye. We want to have you here on Saturday, where we'll have a medical practitioner who will also be telling us the implication of this, and also where most parents will be at home to actually, this educative information that you have, because we have a lot of calls there. Thank you so much for making our time to be with us. Hoping to have you on Saturday, ma'am. Thank you so much. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. Let's hook up to Umahia, where Nora Okafor is standing by with Commissioner for Information to actually talk to us on the restriction, talking about time restriction of tricycle operators. We'll be right back.
One-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, then go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Guy, you know that yellow papa wey dey our street where we so?
Wait, which one? That one where they trip for me? Now my babe now.
Free me, job. If you no get money, hide your face. I hide my face.
Come, now me you talk like that. Guy, I be big boy. You see this TV so? You know how much I buy am? 200k, see this one. You were poor like Osho the market rat.
True, now me they call market rat. See all those Gucci and Pate where hush puppy they show for Instagram so. Now me buy am for am.
Guy, you know e-money? E-money na my boy. Money where you dey spray, na me give am.
See this one oh, you know that Linda KG house for Banana Island? Now me dash her.
That one a house? Maybe you know OBO Davido. That 30 billion wey dey your account, na me borrow am.
Forget it. You see that snake where swallow jam money? Now me send am. Now CBN they go next.
Tuale baba. Ah hello, Tuale. Where you dey?
True? Bros, you just had a lie. He dey my back.
Hey, what did you do?
Oh yes, you can now purchase MCL decoder and also pay for your subscription at our corporate office located at number 9B Obibo Street opposite Keystone Bank, or MCL outlets located at number 203 Fox Road opposite Heritage Bank by Samek Junction, Aba, or our accredited sales agents, Abarusia Holdings, Zone 18, Shop C, LQA4, Shopping Center, Aba, Best Choice Electronics, Zone 16, ET65 Up, behind Eco Bank, Ehi Road Branch, Aba Shopping Center, Symphone Investment Nigeria Limited, Zone 12, AS28, Shopping Center, Aba, Ever Blessed Yahweh Electronics, 156 Ekote Mene Road, Aba, Matiko Communication, number 93 Hospital Road, opposite Amawusa, Aba. Nwachuku Investment, 43 St. Michael's Road, Aba. Nukocha Electronics, number 300 Port Harcourt Road, inside Orie Ohabiam Electronics Market. Obuka JJ Communication, Line 26, B47 Ngwa Road Market, Okorocha Shopping Plaza, number 4 Ibere Street. OK Tech, number 3 Nwala Street, opposite BTC Aba. Orbit Communications, number 2 Pand Road Aba. For payment of subscription only, you can visit our accredited agents, Best Choice Electronics, Zone 16, ET65 up, behind EcoBank, Ehi Road Branch, Aba Shopping Center. Ever Blessed Yahweh Electronics, number 156 Ekotekpene Road, Aba. Matiko Communication, number 93 Hospital Road, opposite Amausa, Aba.
Nwokocha Electronics, number 300 Port Harcourt Road, inside Orie Ohabiam Electronics Market.
Chris Ben Communication, 232 Orata Road by Express, Aba. Branch Office, number 560 Port Harcourt Road by Flyover, Aba. For inquiries, call our customer care on
070-3298-0089.
MCLtv, the world in your home.
Non-stop breakfast show on TV. Non-stop breakfast show on TV. Non-stop breakfast show on TV.
Alright, thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. Sincere apologies that we couldn't hook up to Nara Okafor, where we were actually wanted to see the Commissioner for Information talking to us about what motorists, what they are complaining, of course, trying to talk about the time limit of tricycle operators, but hoping to do that immediately after the morning program. And of course, Jonah is already seated to tell us what's happening in the world of sports. Jonah, good morning.
Good morning, Stella. And I also say good morning to our viewer. It is now the time for us to talk about sports, because in the world of sports there are so many developments and also controversies. And right now I want to start with a piece of news that has to do with the Golden Eagles. You know that they will be fighting out against Guinea today in the Under-17 African Cup of Nations final, and that actually will also serve for the qualification for the World Cup. And of course the Golden Eagles have actually qualified for the Under-17 World Cup, having qualified for the semi-final, but actually they will be going into the final today against Guinea. They have already qualified for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, but Nigeria, just like Angola and Cameroon, will want more from the ongoing Africa Under-17 Nations Cup holding in Tanzania. Nigeria topped Group A of the championship to earn their semi-final ticket, while Guinea, as runners-up in Group B, also got the opportunity to fight for a final ticket. Today, the two West Africans will meet at the National Stadium, Dar es Salaam, to determine who gets the nod to final for the trophy later this weekend. Nigeria have been victorious at the Continental Tournament on 2 occasions in 2001 and 2007, and the record winners of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, having won it 5 times. They are also taking part in their 9th Under-17 AFCON, an intimidating pedigree that is bound to send jitters into Guinea's camp. So it's a good thing there. We want the Eagles to make sure that they actually beat their opponents and, of course, qualify for the final of the Under-17 African Cup of Nations. All right, away from that, now we go over to the Nigeria Professional Football League rescheduled match that will take place today. We want to tell you that Bendel Insurance will be fighting out against Rangers. Rangers are the table toppers when it comes to Group A of the Nigeria Professional Football League table. You know that this season, the Nigeria Professional Football League season for this is an abridged one. So Rangers are actually leading the table of the Group A of MPFL, and they will be fighting out against Bendel Insurance today. And Rangers this season have been able to garner some points away from home. They have also garnered some victories away from home. So their fans will be hoping that they will be able to claim an away victory and grab that 3 maximum point. But for Bendel Insurance, is a must-home win, having drawn their last game in the Nigeria Professional Football League. All right, away from that, now we go over to EPL, that is the English Premier League. We had a couple of matches that actually took place yesterday, where Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane had to leave it late to beat Brighton, who are struggling against relegation by 1-0. In another game, Watford forced Southampton to a 1-1 draw. Southampton took that early lead in the early seconds, so to speak, of that particular game, but Watford had to rally back to equalize to force them to a 1-1 draw. All right, it will continue today. We have about 2 fixtures that will be coming your way today in the English Premier League. Wolves at home will welcome Arsenal. That game will will kick off by 7:45 p.m. We have another one that will be happening between city rivals. That is Manchester United hosting Manchester City, and 2 of them are really talking tough ahead of today's encounter that will take place by 8 p.m. The coach of Manchester United, that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has actually said that Manchester United will use today's game to salvage for what they lost in their last game in the English Premier League, while Manchester City is saying that Old Trafford is no more a fortress. Well, we will see who will be making good his statement in today's game. That game will come your way by 8 p.m. Today, so you do well to tune into those fixtures that will be coming your way today in the English Premier League. Yesterday we also had a couple of fixtures in the Spanish La Liga, where Huesca recorded a 2-0 victory over Eibar. Rayo Valladolid defeated Girona by 1-0, while Deportivo La Corona, it was a different music and story for them as they lost 0-2 to Rampaging Barcelona. It will continue today. In the Spanish La Liga, as Atletico Madrid will fight out against Valencia. Leganes will be up against Athletic Bilbao. Espanyol will entertain their visitors Celta Vigo, while Levante will be up against Real Betis. So these are the fixtures that you will be expecting in the Spanish Santander tonight. So you do well also to watch those games. But you remember that sports has nothing to do with violence. So as you cheer close to victory tonight, to make sure that your clubs come off victorious tonight, you do that without looking for trouble. And if any person is looking for your trouble, you tell that person that to come back tomorrow. You're not set for today. By saying that, you know what I mean. All right, with that, I hand you over to Stella Wando.
Well, thank you so much, General Chief, for that wonderful sports update. This is how far we can go with the program this morning. I am Stella Okichuku. Stay tuned for Wodna Salachi Omabe. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for another wonderful edition of Good Morning Abia. Do have all of the day ahead, and bye for now.
MCL, the world in your home.